guys, it's Lo, and welcome back to Wrestling Wind Down. If you're new here, welcome. We are so happy to have you. We haven't been here in a minute. It's been a minute, baddies, but I'm back. I'm here. We're going to do some makeup. We're going to go over new products. We're going to talk about wrestling. We're going to talk about what I've been up to. Are we ready? I think we're ready. Let's get into it. Recently, I was in LA, and I had the chance to attend Brie and Nikki Bella's podcast recording. It was so much fun. Absolutely loved it. The girls have a very good podcast presence, and they naturally know how to hold a conversation. So really like that. Got to see them again, got to take pictures with them both. It was just a great time. I also got to be a part of the episode. I got to ask a question at the end.
Hello.
Hello.
I know you guys have experience with reality TV. Let's say you guys are putting together your own Traders, but wrestling edition.
Ooh.
What you have on?
Oh my gosh.
Really enjoyed that. Thank you again to the Nikki and Brie podcast for inviting me and for letting me come while I was in the LA area. So I also went to Lee Moriarty's art museum, which was at the Night Gallery. It was such a nice gallery. He had a lot of his pieces up that are obviously wrestling inspired. I really enjoyed it. We need more wrestling art. I'm going to put the Giso Honey Infused Lip Oil on, the Clinique Moisture Surge 100-hour auto replenishing hydrator. Make sure you go down the neck. Don't forget the neck. Protect your neck. Danessa Merrick's, girl. Come here. Let me call you to the floor. Danessa Merrick's, I don't know what she's putting in this, but these products are so good. So I love her Yummy Skin in Universal, the Blurring Balm Powder. This is my go-to. I put this on either before or after I prime, usually with Milk Makeup, and that is the Hydro Grip. These two usually go together, okay? But I went and I picked up Danessa Merrick's, her Water Powder Serum. I saw good reviews. I was like, okay, I'm going to pair this with the blurring, and we're gonna do a little magic here. Like I said, protect your neck, go down the neck. I'm also putting it on my eyelids. I'm being careful because I did get eyelash extensions again. I don't know what it is about eyelash extensions, but they make you feel like a brand new You said pat it in with your fingers. So we are going to follow Danessa's instructions and pat it in with our fingers, and it is going to dry. It's going to turn into a nice powder. If you're not watching Ring of Honor, I know, people go and they say, I don't want to pay for Ring of Honor, but baby, if you're willing to pay $30 a month to watch a WWE pay-per-view, and this is not me on WWE, but if you're willing to go pay $30 a month to watch a wrestling pay-per-view, you can invest $10 to go watch Ring of Honor. You got Trish Adora, one of my faves. You got the Infantry, love them as a tag team. Lee Moriarty, you have Mercedes Moné, women's pure champion. We know that Red Velvet had that title. She got injured. They've done a couple things trying to figure out who's going to be a title holder. We've seen Deonna Purrazzo involved in the title contention picture, but currently Mercedes Moné is holding that title, and Athena is holding it down as the Ring of Honor women's champion. I love to see the representation. Mercedes has 12 belts now, and I'm seeing a lot more people start getting irritated about the fact that she's holding 12 belts, two of which one is AEW, one is Ring of Honor. People are wondering, is she doing too much? Does she have too much power at this point? Should we be giving others opportunities? We are going to go in with my favorite NARS foundation. With this Danessa Merrick's combo that I just put on, I just feel like it looks so natural on the skin, and it just glides on so well. And you'll notice that I am pressing into the skin. Look, we've all had our times that we've brushed that brush across our face like we were sweeping our kitchen floor. Some people might prefer to brush it on, and that's fine. Some people might prefer to put it on with their fingers. I've heard that NARS products, the lady that I bought this from actually told me that NARS products go on better if you press it in with your fingers. But unfortunately, I don't want to do that. I prefer to just use a beauty blender and blend it out, and then I'm gonna go down my neck because the neck is important. Protect your neck. We are going to do a little bit of an eye look. I prefer to do golden looks. We love some gold in this house. So speaking of gold, Ricky Starks is the NXT champion, and when I tell you he cut the promo of a lifetime the other day, Ricky. I'm a longtime Ricky Starks fan. I think everyone and their mother knows that. It's been so amazing to see Ricky's transformation, especially looking at the beginning of this year, and he was not signed to WWE. He had just got released by AEW in the beginning of the year as well. We were kind of like, what's going on with Ricky? He did a little bit of independent. He was Defy champion for a minute before he got signed to WWE. And now he's champ. That promo that he had with Trick Williams, I just felt like really showcased what a lot of us already knew, which is not only does Ricky deliver in the ring, but once he gets a mic, he takes control of it and he absolutely elevates the division, himself, the company that he's with. And he's done that since he was in AEW and even before that. So it's been really amazing to watch him just thrive and prosper in WWE, in NXT. And I don't think Ricky's going to be here long. I really don't. I think that he is going to move up to the main roster, but I think that the patience will pay off. I also think, too, it is very good that he's just climbing up the ranks. He was North American champion. Now he's NXT champion. And honestly, he's probably going to be WWE champion one day. He has what it takes to be WWE champion. I'm going to be using my Morphe 35U, the Gilded Desert. Love this palette because very neutral tones. We are going to go in with this shade right here, which is called Beaming. And I'm just going to put that all over my lid. We are going to do our eyebrows. We're not doing too much with the brow. We're being very demure with the brow. I was looking at pictures the other day of what my brows used to look like 7 years ago. And brow blindness is a thing, but I've been going to the same girl for years now. Shout out to Melissa. And she just makes them look so natural. She makes them look so good. I feel like it just fits my face perfectly, the shape of my brow currently. Enough yapping. We are going to go in with this beautiful golden shade. It's called Full of Flash. I'm just going to put that on right there. And that is just such a beautiful golden shade. It is the season in WWE and AEW where I feel like everyone's injured. And this happens at least once a year. Seth Rollins is injured. Bianca's out. Naomi's pregnant, so obviously she's not wrestling. There's a lot of other injuries, and I'm just like, this happens every year where it just seems like a lot of the top people get injured at the same time, and it really does let these companies shift to people that maybe they haven't been focusing on, right? So I've really loved seeing Maxine Dupree in the WWE Intercontinental Women's title picture. She's faced off against Becky a couple times, and I feel like every single time Maxine Dupree has shown that she is taking advantage of that time that she spends in the Heart Dungeon. I am going to do a little trick right here before we get any further. So this is the Fenty Beauty. This is the Invisimatte. This is the Instant Setting and Blotting Powder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to blot it. So while I do my makeup, I'm not sweating it off. I'm going to go in, I'm going to do my brows, and we will be right back. With our Huda Beauty Concealer. This is in the shade Toasted Almond. So I'm just going to put a little bit under my eye, a little bit in the middle of my nose, a little bit on my forehead, and we are going to go. So we are going to take 2 lines down our nose right here, and this is just the Sephora contour stick. This beauty blender is wet, but I am going to spray it with a little bit of Prime Set and Refresh Bear With Me NYX spray. I used to not be sold on a nose contour until I knew what I was doing, and I was like, hold up now. So like I said, the injury bug is here in both companies, but I feel like both companies are really trying to keep the momentum up. AEW just had a pay-per-view. There were some thoughts about the main event with Darby Allin and Jon Moxley. You have 2 wrestlers that honestly, they go out there and their goal is to be violent. There was some dialogue online. There's a lot of people that tweet a lot for like 40 days and 40 nights about what you should and shouldn't have your children watching. Baby, I'm 28 years old. I don't even think I should have been watching that. That's up to their parents, and their parents should be responsible enough to turn the TV off. I'm going to go in with that same Bear With Me spray, and I'm just going to spray this down. But we do need to have a conversation when it comes to WWE and these ticket prices. WWE recently dropped their holiday tour dates, which the holiday tour is always a fun time. WWE does a really good job of nowadays letting their superstars get a little bit of a break, but they typically do work around the holidays. And they will typically go on a holiday tour, which is house shows. And it's more of a lighter mood. People are celebrating the holidays. It's a fun time. It's usually an affordable time to go to a WWE show. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, I'm going to put a little bit of black on my waterline. I saw somebody posted that WWE's holiday tour, the tickets are so expensive. And someone also put up screenshots of when they went last year and how much their ticket was, and the price doubled. Now, WWE is quite aware that they are charging an arm and a leg and maybe even a couple fingers to go to their show nowadays. But they have had executives say that they know they're charging a lot and that they don't plan on charging any less. As someone who lives in Las Vegas, as someone who's very familiar with UFC and their pricing, I do feel like WWE is taking a page out of UFC's book, and they are charging a lot of money. UFC typically is for adults. It's a little bit more violent, mostly a male-dominated sport, just like professional wrestling. I have looked at the ticket prices for UFC events here at T-Mobile Arena, and they've started at $200. And I'm like, I'm not an avid UFC fan. I'm not paying $200, especially when I don't know who's fighting. Seeing now that WWE and UFC are owned by the same company, TKO, I do believe that they think, this pricing works for our UFC fans. We can charge this much. How about we try that with the WWE audience? And I think it's backfiring a little bit. Obviously, ticket prices drop the day of, especially when you go to major events like Survivor Series or WrestleMania. The ticket prices are going to drop the day of. But I feel like they're not dropping enough for families of 4, families of 6, groups of friends that want to go together. You are charging an arm and a leg to enjoy entertainment. And while I do enjoy professional wrestling, I do feel like some of these prices that they are having their tickets set at are absolutely asinine. Like, I look at a, floor level seat nowadays. Doesn't matter if it's a pay-per-view, doesn't matter if it's a regular Monday Night Raw. It's expensive. It's very expensive. And it wasn't like this a couple years ago. Obviously, ownership, company changes, etc. I don't know what's going on. It should be interesting to see how WrestleMania goes this year, again, here in Las Vegas, especially since last year the prices were extremely high, and I'm hearing this year they're extremely high, but we will remain optimistic. People are coming out here, and they are not only buying WWE tickets, they are buying merch, they're buying flights, food, other shows like The Collective, or they're going to WrestleCon, or they're checking out other non-wrestling things that might be in the city that is not Circus. And, it's not affordable. Vegas is just at a point, in my opinion, where things are extremely high. I don't necessarily go out on the strip as a local. I know a lot of locals pretty much don't go out on the strip. I'm setting my under eyes with this one size. This is in the color Rich Peach. I'm using the same little beauty sponge that I used earlier to just press that in, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to brush it away once it is dry. Probably should have went in before I did my mascara on the bottom, but you know what? YOLO. Makeup is supposed to be fun. So that's what we're doing. We're having fun. AEW, in my opinion, is still charging good prices. I don't feel like it's astronomical. I have seen some friends of mine who used to sit on the floor, and they say that the prices are a bit higher now. And I do know that AEW is incorporating different packages for some of the events they have. So I feel like they're playing with prices a little bit, but it's not to the point where it's like, yeah, you got me up. I'm going in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand Highlight. This is in the shade Champagne Campaign. I'm just going to put a little bit on the tip of my nose. I'm going to go in, I'm going to brush this away. Blush. I have 2 different blushes that I'll be using. I am using the NYX in the shade Behave, and I like this pink. It is just a nice pink. Goes on really well. And then I'm using this shade. This is a MAC blush. It is a mineralized blush. It is in the shade Lovejoy. I am lining my lips with the MAC. This is in the shade Whirl. Now I'm going to go over that with the Impulsive Powder Kiss by MAC. And then I'm going to put a little bit of Rihanna's Fenty Glow Gloss in the number 3. I'm just going to put it in the middle. And then the final thing I do is I go back in with that Giso lip gloss or lip oil that I used to begin with. And I am going to just run it over my lips. And we are done. Before I put this baby on, I'm going to spray it one last time with the NYX Bear With Me. Danessa Merrick's Yummy Skin Liquid Blurring Balm Mattifying Setting Spray. I read the back of this yesterday when I came home after I wore this because I could not believe the way that it set on my skin, the way that it did not wipe off. Ooh, I love her. I love her. Sounds like happy hour. She said TNO, not TKO. The makeup looks sensational.